Peace concert. I love the songs. And I saw former President Johnson Sirleaf
Yes,
in
yes,
the
yes.
audience.
Mm-hmm.
What you reckon was her lasting legacy?
Her lasting legacy will be that she unleashed George Weah on us. That's the legacy I give to Mrs. Sirleaf. Sorry.
You don't think very much of George Weah, President George Weah?
Have you met George Weah?
Yet to. I'd love to interview him.
Oh, he can't talk much. You won't get much out of him. Huh? He's not very articulate either. No, I'm sorry. He's a fantastic football player.
Yes.
Okay? He's a fantastic player. At least that's what they say, because even when I was in England, I wasn't that much into football, and I understand he played at one time for Liverpool or something. Yeah, I didn't follow his football history. But the background that I come from, we didn't see football players as national political leaders. And I'm sure that's everywhere in Africa. I mean, I never heard Ghanaians saying Abedi Pele can be president.
Abedi for president.
Can you imagine? Could you have Abedi for president?
Well, he's not a politician.
Well, this is our own case too. George Weah is an Abedi Pele. They should stick to their profession and everything. But Madame Sirleaf thought it would be interesting, under the guise of generational. Yeah. So she unleashed George Weah.
Because he was VP before he became president, right? Was he vice president before?
No, he was a senator.
A senator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a senator.
But the Liberians chose him. She didn't force them to vote for him. So the unleashing.
Yeah, she did it, because I'm saying at the end of the day, how did he get into the political class? He could have stayed there forever. We would not have voted for him. The majority of sound thinking Liberians, they wouldn't have voted. But Madame Sirleaf, like I said, foisted him on us, literally held up his hands and as the successor. And there was nothing we could do. I mean, we didn't have the capabilities of printing extra ballots and those little things that happen in African politics. Yeah. But he was a disaster for the country. Go to Liberia now. They will tell you he was a disaster.
So it's quite a damning verdict from you.
No, it's just the truth. It's not damning. My thing here is I have sympathy. I can even have sympathy for George, because I know his limitations. He had absolutely no interest in governance, in governing a people. He was just happy to be president, enjoying himself, doing a booga dance, drinking and partying. Yeah. This man was a football player. How do you expect him to come and read a 530-page budget?
His finance minister will read it.
But that's just it. He had no idea they were reading the thing. They didn't even bother him with those kind of issues because he could not deal with it. Yeah, that was George Weah. I mean, I know a lot of people mesmerized this football player. And in fact, some of my Nigerians said, when I said, oh, he was a disaster, and really? They are all surprised. And then I asked them, so you think, what's the boy's name? The big one there in Nigeria, the football player. Kanu. I said, you'll give your country to Kanu to run? And then that's when they think. That's when they think.
No, 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 no. chanting slogans, holding different placards.
So that's still right there? So still food there? In a big plastic? So when you can ask them for it, you can ask them and they say they can give it to you. Okay. Cooking the food while they put me out. See here, these spoiled food you see here. Expired food. See?
Thought on the issue of the threshold bill that was passed recently, and then a motion of reconsideration was taken by one of our colleagues, which sparked heated debate around here. You know, on the 9th of December 2025, the House of Representatives pass on this bill and send it to the Senate for concurrence. This bill was crafted following the submission of the 2022 census result, which puts Liberia's population at around 5.2 million plus. And this submission was done to satisfy the constitutional requirements that are enshrined in Articles 80D and 80E. In 80D, it says each constituency should have an approximately equal population of 20,000 or such number of citizens as the legislature shall prescribe in keeping with population growth and movement as reviewed by the National Census.
Is Magdalena Cooper. I'm the senior political advisor to His Excellency Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But I also happen to be the spouse of the Speaker. The example of our President, His Excellency Joseph Boakai. This is why we are here. Let me be on record. This is the national actor of Republic of Liberia. That is the nucleus of Liberia. No. Everything that Liberia needs to reflect on the history how Liberia was built, we have it here. But the central government has forgotten about it. And we will continue while who will speak. Mercy. And the world will hear us.
Coming from the executive.
I say, I don't know why the president chose to think about football academy right after the exit of the footballing president. President Boga had never, I don't think he even played in elementary school. To sit and decide that you're going to pay a football academy, something that was being done by President Weah, who is celebrated around the world as who was celebrated in Africa. We think that is a serious challenge. That's a serious challenge. Everyone should watch that, because if this woman go ahead and build a football academy, and when he back in football after the exit of the football president, that clearly speaks to the fact that football was not priority on George Weah.
Allotted, approved by the legislature. If you spend $10 million on a government project, which institution funded it? It also lends credence to some of the things people have said. That some of the money in the budget, for example, they're spending $1 million for Foya Hospital. What's the population of Foya? $1 million for Foya Hospital, but there are more people in Basso. There are more people in Magibi. So how do you allot money? There's a lot more money being spent for Kolahu Hospital. And there is also money being spent for current hospital in Zozo. So this year's budget spending almost $2 million on hospitals in Foya. Are they getting those money, in Lofa, are they getting those money to go back for it and spend it on other projects?
American, distinguished colleagues, I want to say good morning to every one of you, and thank God that we're in 2026. This is a very pleasant morning. All we can say, we want to tell God thank you for life. Yeah.
I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause I'm a fool. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me Mr. Journalist, I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now, and I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major stories. There is no job.
No job, no money, and also good evening and welcome to the round table. Today is July 30th, 2026. 14 and a half minutes past 10 o'clock in Liberia. This is how we officially like to welcome you through our final presentation in the month of July of the round table here on Wizz TV. My name is William McGill, and we like to appreciate all of you for joining us. Good evening from Liberia, good morning, good afternoon, and wherever you find yourself, this is how we like to welcome you to this wonderful program. We have a lot of things. We're hoping that we can have our panelists joining us on the program as we go ahead to talk about these issues that matter the most to our beloved country, Liberia. What is it we're going to be talking about? Liberia, largest cocaine destruction happened on today. And our question here is that is Liberia winning or losing the fight against drug trafficking? And we saw authorities destroy about 4.2 metric tons of cocaine worth an estimated US 336 million following the country's largest ever drug seizure. And you know, the case has implicated senior law enforcement officers, raising concerns about corruption within security institutions. We'll also look at, promoting Liberia to the world. Can tourism become Liberia's next economic drive? And we saw the president of Liberia recognizing Ghanaian content creator Wode Meya, popularly known as Wode Meya, right? And Liberia digital creator of LIB branch, Jenkins Human, for helping to promote Liberia internationally during the country's 179th Independence Day celebration. What this means for Liberia? Are we equipped to be able to run or to be able to carry out our tourism quest? Or are we fully equipped to be able to compete in the tourism sector here in Africa? These are things we're going to look at. We will take a short break. When we come back, we take our news from across Africa right there from the BBC, which will also be followed by our Today in History. And right after that, we jump into all of our talking points here on the program. But firstly, let's take this from Kakuyan Hair Collection. They are one of our prize sponsors on the program. You can also send us a message and we will basically have you on to join the sponsorship of this program, the Roundtable.
Turns heads the moment you walk into a room. Hair that gives you confidence, beauty, and that flawless look you truly deserve. Well, your search is finally over. Welcome to Kakuyan Hair Collection, your trusted online destination for luxury, premier quality human hair designed to bring out the beauty in every woman. Whether you are preparing for your birthday photo shoot, wedding, anniversary celebration, graduation, church event, vacation, or just want a stunning look every day, Kakuyan Hair Collection has a perfect hair just for you. At Kakuyan Hair Collection, we proudly offer 100% premier human hair. Beautiful, easy to wear glueless wigs. No glue, no gel, no stress. Sleek and elegant bone straight human hair. Different texture and style for every woman and every occasion. Because at Kakuyan Hair Collection, beauty meets quality. Shop with a brand that understands beauty, class, and quality. Our store is located in the United States of America. For more information, follow us on Instagram at Kakuyan Hair Collection, Facebook at Kakuyan Hair Collection, TikTok at Kakuyan Hair Collection. Better still, email us kakuyanhair@gmail.com. Call or WhatsApp us on +1 267 372 7010. Or better still, visit our online store www.kakuyanhaircollection.com.
Kakuyan Hair Collection is one of our sponsors on the program, and it's great that we are back on the program here, the Roundtable. Let's take our news coming in from the BBC, and it will also be followed by Today in History before we can jump into one of our talking points here on the program, the Roundtable. Let's Take this coming in from the BBC. Archbishop Century Berry committed to 100 million euros slavery fund. Damage Sarah Mulale has renewed her commitment to the fund on a visit to Cape Coast in Ghana. This one says a veteran Ugandan opposition leader collapsed in court and in RCU, his wife says. The 70-year-old has been in detention since November 2024 and faces treason charges, which he denies. Hundreds of migrants swim from Morocco to Spanish enclave of Ceuta. The territory's leader said the influx is overwhelming resources and urged the Spanish government to intervene. And quickly here on the BBC, Oprah Winfrey to close her school for girls in South Africa. The campus will be returned to local authorities as she expands a wider scholarship program for girls. And so far, so good. That's exactly what we have here from the BBC. And we will quickly running to our today in history. What is it in history today? July 30, 1945, USS Indianapolis was sunk by a Japanese submarine shortly after delivering key components for the automatic bomb. Nearly 900 sailors were left in the sea, making it one of the deadliest naval disasters in U.S. history. Today in history, July 30, 2020, NASA launched the Mars 2020 Perseverance rover from Cape Canaveral, Florida. The rover landed on Mars in February 2021 and has been searching for signs of ancient microbial life while collecting rock samples for possible return to Earth. Again, today in history, July 30, 1975, Jimmy Hoff disappeared in Salzburg, deterred on mysterious circumstances. Despite decades of investigations, his disappearance remains one of America's most famous unsolved cases. Today in history, 1965, July 30, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Medicare and Medicaid programs into law, transforming healthcare access for millions of elderly and low-income Americans. Today in history, finally, July 30, 1966, England national football team defeated Portugal 2-1 in the FIFA World Cup semi-final, advancing to the final where England would, let's see this quickly, go on to win its only World Cup title since 1966. This is our quote of today. History is a guide to navigation in previous time. History is who we are and why we are the way we are. And it was written by David McCulloch. That's exactly what we have here. And let's now run into our talking points on the program. The roundtable, we saw it on today. Let's see if we can go to Wizz page on today. We saw the Drug Enforcement Agency, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, was basically working hard. When I say working hard, I am talking about the fact that there were a lot of videos, live coverages in terms of their operation on today, where we saw the joint security carrying out the destruction of one of Liberia's huge drug seizure. And this is, let's just bring some highlight, and then we can go ahead with this in terms of how the situation unfolded at today's event with joint security. This was when the situation started with the joint security. Let's just bring this quickly, and we want to show this to you guys so you can watch.
So, folks, the 19 million worth of drugs is already within this vehicle. The 19 million worth of drugs is already within this vehicle, and this is the inspection. The inspection has ended on the 19 million worth of drugs. Next is the 317 million worth of drugs, and that was seized last week for last. Here from, let's say, by the joint security in the my GB area. Let's say the VO area still belongs to Montserrat. The 319 million worth of drugs was seized from the VO area on the Mangils Avenue, and the 19 million worth of drugs that was previously under investigation have been Armsmen who are also here to bring you this live broadcast. So let me see, est-ce que tu as vu? Bien? So what?
So that's exactly how the situation was on today. And later time we saw the LDA along with the police and other security agency were together, and they went ahead to carry out the destruction of the 19 million and as well as the 336 million worth of cocaine that was seized from, a drug operation. Some claimed a drug cartel operation being carried out here in Liberia to be able to seriously run the operation. Now, with the the issue of this now, one thing is, what does this issue says about Liberia's role in international drug trafficking? I think for me personally, I would say it's the fact that there's should be a lot of how you call more seriousness in the security sector, with the fact that we've seen schools of security personnel that have been has been alleged of being involved into the operation. And today for the press briefing, we listened to Police IG Gregory Coleman. Gregory Coleman said that they've got information that this operation been happening since 2021, and they have high-ranking government officials on their radar that will be ongoing investigation, both past and present government officials. Is something that the public want to hear. And it's not just about ongoing investigation. We've seen the case with the 19 million worth of drug in our country, and up to date, the case is still dragging. We understand how the court case goes in terms of these operations. But again, it's prudent that the government is able to inform the public. And now someone will say, "What? Why was the drug destroyed?" And we still have the investigation ongoing. Uh, that's another question. Why will you destroy this drug? We understand the fact that the drug is normally burned in our country by the DA on the celebration of International Drug Day. Now we had this 4.2 metric tons of cocaine, and was being destroyed today. Why did this happen? It is that the video circulating on social media yet to be confirmed, that is a video coming in from a Colombian drug cartel saying that they should be able to release their guys, and also listing names of individuals they are working with, allegedly claiming that they are working with. Is it because of that we saw joint security, we saw the security authorities in our country went ahead to carry out this um, drug operation in terms of burning uh, this drug ahead of International Drug Day? That is something that is usually done. And but what is the main motive of this operation? I believe the security apparatus before this, somewhere around the 27, we saw EPS director Sam Gay also making some social media posts about the burning of this drug, and so it said that it's a message out to whoever involved, or whatever statement that was made in the video footage circulating on social media yet to be confirmed. Some people say, "Oh, it's not AR," and in as much as it's not AI, some people believe that people in the video are just acting because they want to bring some level of chaos in the investigation. And we listened to Gregory Coleman at the press briefing, accusing journalists, accusing the media in Liberia falsely, without claim that the media has been bought by the drug cartels that are involved with the drug operation here in Liberia. And one thing is that you shouldn't just generalize your claim with all media's institution in the country. If you have an issue with a particular media institution as police RG, you should be able to tell the public that we do have credible information with facts. You are an investigator. You are a police boss. You should be able to speak out and name these individuals or those involved with the cartels that are trying to, switch up the entire uh, drug case as you claimed. But you cannot, narrow the entire media as one, and just make a claim that the entire media has been bought by the cartels, and that they want to switch up with the entire investigation. They want to play with it, so they are releasing, different kind of publications to stir, controversy in the public. So these are things that we are looking at tonight, and the fact that this drug was being burned today, it shows that I think maybe if I'll say, right, which of course I don't want to say, but let me just say this. I think the government, the security authorities was as fast as I thought they could have waited or later, in as much as the case is in your hand. The public have seen, but again, you can keep that. Let's wait. Let the case go ahead, and let's see how it turn out. In as much as we have live video footages, which lasts only 30 days on social media right now, maybe you can go and save them again. But again, with all of these things, I believe the physical evidence in court for maybe court to see if it reaches to that level is something that is also prudent. And we all want to see those past and present government officials that the police IG says they are part of it, and the needs to undergo investigation be brought about, and let's see how this investigation will go. The thing is, as we take this case lightly, it will continue to give ground to these individuals that are involved into the drug operation in our country. And this won't set a good image for Liberia, and it's not even setting a good image for our country. With in the course of just 2 months, 2 to 3 months, we have had one of the biggest drug busts in our country. And the first one happened at the Rabat International Airport when we thought we've seen it all. We saw the second one that happened around the VOA area as well. And these individuals continue to use our country as a passage point where they can be able to basically focus on carrying their operation. And it's not just about what we say, it's about basically making sure that we can have most of these things moving forward. And yeah, again, this is something that we see very essential, and we thought it wise to speak about them. And let's watch out for the investigation. Let's see how the court case goes as well, in terms of those who are already seen as suspects, or maybe, you know, whatever we may call that. Yeah, but my bigger question here tonight is, why was this drug being burned today, ahead of International Drug Day that we usually see that they the LDA carry out such operation? Can the public still trust law enforcement uh, if senior officials of the security authorities are going to be on an investigation, and we do have some that are already on an investigation, even uh, admitting that they receive a sum of 10,000 United States dollars. You see, illegal business do have a lot of funds that people can benefit from illegally. And what is it that the public is going to do? What is it that the public is going to say in terms of trust for security authorities? The first issue we had in this country before we take this drug thing very serious was the fact that Liberia at the time was a place that everyone saw the issue of the LDA as a threat. These individuals who were tackling the issue of drug at the time were all individuals that the public claimed were the ones who ran ghettos and other areas across Liberia. And we also saw in the video and a picture as well that these individuals was being searched. Uh, is interesting. The individuals uh, from the LDA was being searched while leaving the burning site. And again, like I said, right, the issue of trust. The issue of trust is serious that we need to look at. Can the public still trust these law enforcement officers? And the kind of reforms that are needed to strengthen anti-drug efforts. What are those reforms that we need? We already have laws that are already there, like huge quantity of drugs, non-bailable offense that you cannot be bailed out and you will spend your time in jail while your court process go ahead. You will spend your time in prison, and you will not have your lawyer filing a bond to bail you out. And the law is there. The law is something that is already being passed, and the implementation rather should be something that we should also be able to look at. The fact that these huge quantity of narcotics substances entering our country being seized by drug enforcement officers, about security apparatus. We should also look at that as a paramount situation, that these individuals that have been caught red-handed in the act should not go unpunished if they are found guilty. It should not be like one other case that we have, one other female, and she we can't hear anything. I would say she walked with impunity. And these are things that the general public do not want as something that we can say, oh, this. We want a space where our laws and all of these things are having to do with the laws and how these cases goes can be very, very serious, can be something that the public in general can be able to count on, can be able to say, yes, our country Liberia is moving forward, and it's a place where we have our young generation that are doing well. But now you cannot say this to Liberia right now because we have a lot of young people that are already into drug. Like I was having one conversation with someone the other day, and it was like, where Liberia? I beg, yeah. Maybe that the government officials that are already sending their family members and those who already have funds that are sending their families outside the country to study. And I was like, no, we still do have people that are here going to school and they will be better. And I was like, can you count how many persons? A lot of the young people are already into drugs, and if you give 3, 4, 5 years from now, kids not taking, an entire country will turn into a zombie country where you cannot walk safely. And the security issue, human safety as well, will be a serious, serious situation. We should look at all of these things and make sure that with all of these things we're doing, not just doing them for today, but we want to safeguard a society for tomorrow, the futures of our children, the future of our children's children, the future of our children's children's children. These are things that should be very key and critical when government officials are carrying out these duties. But again, it's Liberia, and it's something that we can talk about. And let me bring this clip from former President George Weah. I want to bring this clip Before we jump into our final discussion, let me bring this clip from former President George Weah, and then we can jump into whatever next discussion that we have. He talks about coming back 2029. And yeah, come back. Everything is come back. You know, politics is sweet in our country. Politics. How can I get this properly? Let me see. Yeah, I want to get everything properly. Someone said properly. I want to get this properly, right? Oh, my word. Go back. And yeah, let me just thoroughly look for this video about George Weah. Come back, right? Yeah, it's about come back now. Everybody want to come back. Yeah, let me get this about George Weah. And then we can go ahead with what George Weah want to say. Let's hear it. Oh my word. I don't know. I cannot hear this. Oh my word. I don't know why I'm not hearing this. Sorry. This clip is maybe it's our stuff, right? Trying to malfunction. But this is what George Weah said today in the US for the CDC convention, I'm being told. He said he accused the uh, Joseph Barker administration of presiding over of the economic decline, and alleged that businesses are collapsing while international drug cartels are gaining influence across the country. When he spoke to supporters in the United States, he claimed that the closure of businesses has left many Liberians unemployed and worsening the economy, hardship facing ordinary citizens. He further alleged that, the increasing presence of international drug cartels pose a significant threat to Liberia's security and international reputation. And Weah made the remarks while announcing his intention to seek the presidency again, pledging to address the country's economy and security challenges if elected. Weah also rejected that he described it as propaganda aimed at weakening the opposition Congress for democratic change, insisting that the party remains united and resilient despite political attack. He concluded by assuring supporters that the CDC remains strong and expressing confidence that he will return to lead Liberia. Okay, okay, it's so good, right? We are saying coming back, 2029 is gonna be, serious one. And when you listen to some supporters of the CDC that tells you that we are going to come back and it's going to be a one-time victory thing. When you listen to supporters of the Unity Party, they say President Black Eye will win. And you listen to the ANC, the CMC, MPP, and whole lots of different political parties. Everybody wants to lead Liberia. The thing about it is we are lead Liberia for the first time. What a good or bad legacy. His legacy is out there. If he wants to return to politics and contest 2029, it's something that is left up to the people of Liberia, to the voters, to make the decision that they can make that will be right for them and their children's future. If they want to re-elect President Joseph Boakai, it's up to the voters to also make such decision that will affect their children's children positively or negatively. And I would say this, right? It's so early for us to start talking about politics and who gonna come back, who gonna win, and whatever. What we should focus on as people and those in politics, as politicians, is about uniting our country and being able to drive the issue of development across Liberia that people can be able to see. I feel shocked, right? This brings me back to the discussion of my next topic, right? We talk about promoting Liberia to the world. Can tourism become Liberia's next economic drive? We had Walter Mayer, who came to Liberia from Ghana. He's one of the biggest travel vlogger across the world and one of Africa's biggest travel vlogger. If not, he's Africa's biggest travel vlogger that I know of, right? And his brand is big. Walter came to Liberia, and I feels like there weren't a lot of places that was given or he was taken to be able to explore those different areas. And again, it boils down to the question of, do we actually have those places? You know, do we actually have those places for tourists to come and see the beauty of our country? What are some things that we've done with the museum? We have the island right here, the Chevrolet Island. You know, can we redesign that place that would give a tourist insight to people when they come to Liberia? You can have a boat ride right over the island around the water there. You know what I'm saying, right? We can have recreation centers there that will be in operation if government can invest into that and give it to a private sector that will manage it properly to bring in resources. It will make sense. Let's now start thinking like a nation that is 179 years. Let's now create the opportunities that will bring in revenue for our country instead of depending on foreign aid and putting our people, the common citizen, under pressure to pay taxes that are not that enough, to pay taxes that they can't afford, to pay taxes that they do not have jobs for. If you go to LRA to pay tax, your tax is so hard to the extent that you be thinking, how can I afford this when I'm not even earning this? These are things. Let's create these areas. Liberia do have historical areas that can be transformed, modernized, and turned into tourism sites. What are those things that we've done? What are those things? Or are we mainly focused on tearing our country apart? Are we seriously investing into tourism? Do we have enough investment into tourism sector in our country? And let's now look at the level of attraction, the area we can promote to attract international tourists, international community, other people outside of Liberia that would like to come and experience these areas for tourism. Of course, let's not do them. Let's not do them. Do we have enough areas for tourism? If it's not enough, how can we make them to be a place that will draw attention and people will want to come in? Look at Dubai. People goes to Dubai for tourism because of the way the place is, the technology, the building, and how things are. What can we do differently? Should we always just say, okay, we got Lofa Mountain, Nema Mountain, we depend on gold, diamond, iron ore. Yet and still we say we do have all of these things. Companies comes in and they take all of them, they leave off of let's say they leave our country with little or nothing. Let's look at them. Let's look at all of these things. Of course. Of course. I think our government and the tourism authority, they really needs to do better. We see the establishment of tourism authority, which of course we applauded the president for that. But again, I feel that they are doing little or nothing to build the tourism sector in our country. Ambassador Chris, Hans Oneniga, you guys got to do better to promote the image of our country when it comes to the tourism sector. You guys got to do better. So let's take this break. When we come back, we call this a night and we can go home on the program, the round table.
Go to school, cause no more money. I can't stand no more, cause no more food. I cannot go to school, cause no more money. Hey yo, excuse me, Mr. Journalist. I wonder how you make your headlines in the press release today. Although I read the news every day, but I'm really still getting confused now. And I just wanna ask you some questions. Oh, is it based on money? Is it based on presidency? Is it based on technology? Is it based on war? Tell me, we got major headlines. Oh, we got major stories. Yeah. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines.
Major headlines in your area, major stories in the area. We'd like to say thanks to all of you for following us on tonight's presentation of the round table. This is how we like to draw down the curtains on our final presentation in the month of July. Thanks to all of you for following Wizz TV live on Facebook and on YouTube. We appreciate all of you for coming on. My name is William McGill, wishing you a wonderful Thursday evening. I'm out. Bye-bye.
Have no one to call their friend. The children have no food to eat. We got major headlines. Oh, we got major stories. Hey, yo. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines. Major headlines. We got major stories. Major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. How many people do you love, man? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially women. No job, no money. No girls, no glory. No help for poor men. That's what we know. How many people do you love? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially women. No job, no money. No girls, no glory. No help for poor men. That's what we know. We got major headlines. We got major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. We got major headlines. We got major stories. There is no job, no money for hustlers. You don't know stories? You've been writing stories from rock of ages. Keep writing stories about people who not too concerned. We got a lot of people in the ghetto, people on the block, people in the street. If y'all know what I know, follow me, and I'll take you to places where people are suffering. We got lame people, blind people, I mean, people that in need, man. People too much in need. Come on, yeah. How many people do you love, man? How many people do you cherish? How many people do you help out there? Most especially women. No job, no money. No girls, no glory. No help for poor men. That's what we know. How many people do you love? especially poor men. No job, no money, no cause, no glory.